Hey guys, how the frigs it going? Sorry for the awkward angle. I was carrying this thing down too. Well, I did something awesome and stupid at the same time. So, back in the day, back in the fortnights ago. Is that a thing, Fortnite? No, it's a stupid game, but anyway. When I first bought this house, and I think my parents used to do this too when we lived on Wickstead. I used to make, well anyway, we'll go with when I first bought this house, because I can't remember if Mom ever done this before. But I know I used to do it just to see what would happen. I used to make this stuff that I called Hobo Stew. Hobo Stew has no set ingredients. It's literally whatever the heck you can put in it is what's in it. Now, maybe you guys got a different name for this stew. Maybe you call it the kitchen sink stew. I've heard it called that before. I've heard it called multiple different things. Is this ice yet? No. But I've always called it Hobo Stew. Now, the whole reason why I called it Hobo Stew back in the day is because literally it's something like a hobo would cook on a hobo stove. Now, if you're wondering what a hobo stove is, literally it's just a can. Like, you know, an old coffee can. Put some sticks in it, cut some holes in the bottom, light it up, and you got yourself, I wouldn't use that coffee can, mind you, because it's cardboard, so it will catch fire. But if you get yourself a metal can or a paint can or whatever you can get your hands on, a metal soup can even, you can make a little stick stove out of. And then you put your pot on top of it, and that would probably be a can too. And then you put whatever ingredients you could find, oh, wrong button, out of the dumpster into the can and make a hobo stew. Well, we didn't go dumpster diving for our ingredients, but we sort of did, kind of, not really. Basically, we raided the pantry and we put whatever we could into it, as well as the freezer and the fridge. So within our hobo stew, well, let me just give you a little picture of what she looks like. You're probably expecting bad. But doesn't that actually look pretty good? Look at it. It's super thick. It's almost chili-like. We got noodles, we got beans, big chunks of meat, water chestnuts, beans. So, how does it taste? That's my big question. Oh my God. I have yet to make a mix of hobo stew and have it come out bad. That is fan-damn-tastic. Jean-Claude fan-damn-tastic, boys. Like, when I first moved into the house, I didn't know how to cook. I had no idea what the hell I was doing. One day I wanted to make spaghetti sauce. So I threw a bunch of shit in a pot. No, I was making stew. So I put like beef in it, and I didn't know what kind of vegetables, so I threw had a can of corn, had a can of peas. I ended up throwing a can of tuna in it because I didn't know. I just threw a bunch of shit into a pot. In the end, when I told people what I made with the ingredients that I used, they're like, that sounds disgusting. But that's a hobo chili for you, or a hobo stew for you, not a chili. It looks like a chili. But there's no ground chuck in there. I have no beef. The only meat in here is a can of chicken. Not yeah, good. If it doesn't get any more hobo than that, I don't know. But a can of chicken, pork loin, some beans, and can't remember what kind of peas these are. They're great big beans, like white kidney beans. All sorts of shit that I found in the cupboard it's been there for a while, but it's not really like it's a preservative that's in the can with it. So I figured, you know what, frig it. Throw it all together in the pot. This will be our dinner for tonight, lunch for tomorrow, maybe even dinner for tomorrow night. Who knows? How many calories is it? I never clocked it in. The most caloric thing in here is the pork loin. A can of chicken's only 200 calories. Pork loin is probably way worse, but all in all, this is one of the funnest things to make. And the reason why I say it's the biggest mistake I've made today is because it would have been fun to film the making of it. Because you guys would have laughed. Because honestly, I was super close to chucking the stovetop in there. And it wouldn't be the first time I've done that. 2007. My ex at the time, she was living in Guelph. That's where she went to university. It was Thanksgiving dinner here. She didn't come down. She ended up staying there for Thanksgiving. And I don't know what my parents are doing. They weren't home. Usually they don't do much for Thanksgiving because that's when their wedding anniversary is. So they don't really do a dinner because they do their own thing. So it was basically my first Thanksgiving where I was by myself and had to fend for myself. So what did I do to fend for myself? Guys, I made a hobo stew. But this hobo stew, it was themed. It was themed Thanksgiving. Did it work? It was okay. I could say that much. Like, what I did was I bought one of those butterball turkeys, the boneless loaf turkey things, and I slow cooked it for 6 hours. Got it nice and tender. I didn't have the Instant Pot then, so slow cooked it for 6 hours. Got it nice and tender. Shredded it up. Threw it into my my stovetop pot. I made stovetop stuffing. Threw that into the pot afterwards. I made mashed potatoes. Threw that into the pot afterwards. And then I made a whole friggin', I think 2 or 3 packs. I know I had a lot of gravy. And then threw that into the pot. And then I mixed it all together. And it literally became a Thanksgiving hobo stew. It was good. It was tasty. But I swear the entire pot was probably around 15,000 calories. Like it had to be up there. Nah, not really. It was probably around a good 2,000-3,000 calories worth of food. But hobo stews can be fun to make if you're looking for something to do. And then you can always spice it up to make it taste good. You know, as long as you're not using expired ingredients, the end result can be kind of sweet. So, well, you could also make it kind of sweet too, right? And the best part about a hobo stew is there is no ingredient list. It's just grab ingredients that you have laying around, throw it into a pot, Instant Pot, crock pot, stovetop pot, an old soup can on a fire pit, whatever. Mix it all together, cook it up, throw it in a bowl afterwards, enjoy. And that's what I'm about to do right now, is enjoy. My only concern is to make sure the pork is cooked. It should be. It's been in there for 3 hours. Oh, and I pressure cooked this, by the way, in case you're wondering. This is the first time I've done a hobo stew in the Instant Pot. And all I gotta say is, just the sauce alone is friggin' fan-damn-tastic. So I know today's video was a little short, but I kind of wish I would have filmed that. Guys, it was hilarious, because I'm literally sitting there going, what the hell am I going to do for supper? I took out the pork loin last night. I come downstairs, and I'm looking at the pork loin going, well, I just don't want to eat meat. I kind of want something with it. I went rifling through the cupboard. I found lentil beans. That's what those are, lentil beans. Found a can of lentil beans, a can of water chestnuts, a can of green wax beans, and a can of mixed vegetables. I looked in the pantry, found the noodles are actually a hamburger helper, beef stroganoff. So I threw that in there. I threw in a packet of Lipton onion soup mix, a packet of Lipton regular chicken noodle soup mix, that's in there. For spices, I put some chili powder, paprikas, and cayenne pepper, garlic salt, And I don't think I didn't use that. Yeah, I didn't use it. I was going to say I put some in my clubhouse. This stuff here, this stuff's pretty good. You want to get yourself a good seasoning? It's Parmesan and herb. This stuff, put it on like, you can just boil up some noodles, then melt some butter and mix that in with the butter and pour it over the noodles, and boom, you got yourself a delicious treat. What else did I put in it? What the hell am I doing with this? I have a cake mix. We should make Twinkies one of these days. What the hell? I have another cake mix, French vanilla. We should definitely make some Twinkies one of these days. Yeah, I just threw a bunch of shit together. Hobo stew. And like I said, if you think of it from the hobo aspect, where like a hobo would basically collect food, forage whatever, dumpster dive, restaurant raid, whatever the case may be, grab a bunch of food, put it into a pot, boil it up, down the hatch, you know? And I was actually thinking about, I'm just going to pass this by you guys as an idea. I've been doing some research on hobo stoves, as they call them, or stick burning stoves, so on and so forth. And I got the material here to make one. And I was actually thinking about doing an episode of Cooking with the Hobo, either in the backyard or in the woods, with a hobo stove, and doing something special. Doing something kind of interesting. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below if you think a little cooking with the hobo in the woods or in the backyard with an actual hobo stove is something you kind of want to see. I think it'd be pretty funny. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you did, click the like button. Any questions, comments, concerns, down below they go. And until next time, guys, remember, live to win, never give in. Sit, stupid, sit. Good dog.